just all the stuff they've been dealing with, and school out, school back in. Great job of those guys. Really proud of our 4 captains, helping focus our team, and just overall great win for our program. So excited to get out with a win against a really good football team and a great coach.
What was it like there at the end to get your first win as a head coach?
You know, personally, I mean, obviously I was excited. I like to win at anything. So just, you know, happy. I mean, nothing, it wasn't anything real deep. Just happy and very proud of the guys. I mean, you just think about, you know, they've practiced here, there, and everywhere. You know, Austin and back, and in and out of this hotel and in and out of that hotel, and being in downtown Austin for 72 hours. That's hard for adults to control themselves. And so these guys have done a hell of a job, and they make me proud. And there's a long season ahead, though. You know, there's a long season ahead, and there's so much that we can improve on. So we'll get back tonight or tomorrow morning or whenever we get back, and then we'll start focusing on what we need to do to correct the mistakes in this game and find out what Rice will present us with. You know, when he threw it, he knew on 4th and 5, and Brian Johnson and I, we talked about it, and I told Kyle, he came off the field, I said, we got to help you better than that. We didn't give you what you needed in terms of the call. But that was a smart play by you. Take a shot at your best receivers down the middle of the field. If it gets intercepted, it gets intercepted inside the 10. Other than that, you know, we had one ball that he threw great timing on. You know, guy just lost his footing. And but other than that, he managed it well, controlled himself well. Just continue to take care of the football. That's the biggest thing at quarterback. You know, most quarterbacks are competitive. He just needs to continue to take care of the ball in the right situations. But he managed the game well, and it's good to see him play. Hell, I hadn't seen him play in 2 years.
That second position, was it just a matter of trying to make a play, and when he was at the goal line, it looked like he lost handle? Did somebody get a ball on it? Or?
Yeah, it was a read play, and when we made the read, for whatever reason, the ball didn't come out clean. And you know, again, that's one of the things that we'll talk about when we get back. Is just, you know, how to be more proficient in the red zone. That's just, you can't survive college football with field goals and missed opportunities. You just it's a killer. So we got to find a way to get in the end zone with 7. Yep. Defense played real well, you know, and I was proud of those guys, and I think it was really good for all of us. I mean, you know, coaches, offense, defense, special teams, just to get the feel of a game, the flow of a game, the conditioning, the anxiety out, understand how to prepare your mind for 3-4 hours, all the way from pregame to being in the locker room to half times. There's just so many new guys and new positions, offensively, defensively, special teams, offense, defensive coordinator, head coach. There's just so many people in new spots that it was good for us to be able to get out with a win. But, you know, we did play well defensively, and Garrett Davis rose up at the right time, made a great play on the ball, and just proud of him and really enjoy. I just love seeing him smile, and I could see when he popped up out of the pile, I saw that big smile, and I was just happy for him.
How do you feel about the way Burton performed today? He seems to take advantage of every opportunity he was given tonight.
He does. I mean, that's why he's one of the team captains. You know, the way he plays, the intensity in which he plays, how much he cares. You know, that's so much of your effort is dictated by how much you care, and his you know, give a damn factor is way up here, and so that's why he plays well, because he just cares so much, and that's why he was voted to team captain.
And is that why you kept giving him the ball? I know Caroline, you started, but was it the momentum he had, or was it just he seemed to be really into the game tonight? Yeah,
you can just trust. You know, trust goes both ways. You know, I ask these guys to trust me, and I in turn have to trust them. And he's done nothing but show me that he's trustworthy. And I love my son and my daughter very, very much, and I love my wife and providing for them. And when you put the ball in somebody's hands with less than 5 minutes, you better trust them. So I have a tremendous amount of trust with Dylan.
It is one game, but in terms of how you use those two, I mean, is there a pecking order right now? Or it seemed like early on Burton got a lot of the carries, and then you went to Duke at times. Is it kind of just, is it 1A, 1B type deal, or I mean, is there an order of how you want to see those guys?
Well, we need to have a third and a fourth one step up. We really do, because you're not going to make a season with two backs. That's just unheard of. That doesn't happen, especially when you play tempo. You know, you used to be able to do it back in the 80s when you lined up and you snapped the ball 56 times a game, but now you're going to need 3-4 backs. So we need a third and a fourth guy to step up. It's that simple.
You mentioned Kyle, getting to see him in a game situation, but what has he done behind the scenes in these 2 years that has impressed you?
Study the game, worked on himself physically, mentally. He loves football. He loves the mental side of it. He prepares himself really well. He uses his minutes, hours of the day very wisely. He understands how to put himself in the right position to win by preparing himself and using the clock. We always talk about that. The time is a non-renewable resource, and how are you going to use the seconds, minutes, and hours? And he does a great job of that.
Going back to the defense, how did you we expected Ed Oliver to perform well, but he seemed to be all over the field tonight, just really on his game. Is that something that you guys were looking at?
Yeah, I mean, it was, there was a lot of guys. It takes 11, and we got to get a lot better. Ed, I expect him to play well, and we all expect him to play well. We need him to play well. And he did. At times, he played well. I think there were some times in the game, that he, first game out, sophomore year, saw him come to the sideline a few times, and so I think that he'll be better conditioned mentally to be able to stay on the field. There were some times when the ball was approaching our 30-yard line, I saw him out of the football game, and I'm wondering why is our best football player, as the ball's entering the red zone, not in. So I think that has a lot to do with nerves. Just first time out there. Not that he's nervous, but just dealing with the performance anxiety of playing, that as the ball moved down the field, I think he'll feel much more comfortable game 2 and game 3.
In terms of game 1, it's on the road. It's a tough opponent. Sometimes you can hold back playbook. You can, not do as much, but it seemed like you had to. Do you feel like, at least on offense, you guys did what you needed to do in terms of some of the things you wanted to run, or was there a lot of still getting the kinks out, working on things that you didn't get to do because you didn't play the first week?
I thought that for the most part our guys executed, fairly well. I'll have to watch the tape to be able to really see it. One thing we talked about offensively is let's not get really complicated. This is a good football team, but even though they're a good football team, we don't have to have 9,000 bells and whistles on our game plan. Let's put away our ESPN game plan and not worry about that. Let's just go with what these guys have practiced for so long, all the month of August, and against a better football team. Let's just let them go compete and let's let them execute with confidence. So in a lot of ways, it was very simple. We did not want to get on the road in our first game against a good opponent and get complicated and lock our guys up mentally. So we stayed very, very basic. I think our offensive coaches did a good job. Defensive coaches did a good job. Very proud of them. First time they've ever worked together and been a game setting. It sounded like what it was supposed to sound like on the headset. And I just anticipate us doing nothing but getting better at it.
As far as Arizona goes, they rushed for a lot of yards first game, and you said right before this game that that they can do both. And that's exactly what they came out and did here. They tried to rush first, and it seemed like they were trying to go to the passing game to try to throw you guys off. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's what I would do. There's some guys in the middle that are good, that are really good football players, and I think Coach Rodriguez has done this longer than I've been alive. He's done this since I've been in diapers, so he understands what to do offensively and where to attack defenses. And you saw them be more proficient in the throw game than they were last week, and last week they didn't have to. And I'm gonna tell you something. J.J. Taylor, good player, really good player. Tough guy to tackle. Low center of gravity, great change of direction. Takes care of the ball. Very tough to tackle.
They went with Tate there in the fourth quarter. From what y'all prepared for, and so looked like kind of a totally different team with the way they were moving, with his ability to scramble. Did that?
Oh yeah.
Was that a little bit of a?
Yeah, it
just to kind of try to catch up, not catch up, but
it's karma. I'd sit there and watch Greg do that for 2 years. So I was like, here it is. So I'd watch Greg Ward do that for 2 years, and then I see their guy running around. So, we just got to learn how to play those kind of guys, those type of quarterbacks, and that's why they're at a premium in recruiting. And you want to have those kind of guys that can ad-lib and make plays off schedule to keep your offense on the field, and 2 really good quarterbacks. And, Rod Smith has done an outstanding job. Calvin McGee's done an outstanding job of developing quarterbacks in that system, so they'll continue to get a lot better.
You probably don't win this game
Pardon? Yeah. It was huge. It was huge because it was right before half. They flipped the momentum right back when it got to be a tie game, knowing that they were going to get the ball to start the second half. It was a great job by Ken Pope, our kickoff return coach. He saw it on a couple touchbacks that we could bring that thing to the field. We did. We had some good blocks in there. Returner broke a tackle. Then the offense, kind of corrected their earlier mistakes by finishing in the red zone. So that was critical to go up 7, knowing that they were going to get the ball in the next half. But one guy that's just unsung hero is the punter. I mean, he continued to punt them deep and continued to pin them inside the 15, inside the 10. And we talk about the battle of field position, and it's so comforting as a coach when things come to fruition and all the stuff that you preach over and over and over again in terms of special teams and field position and chances of scoring comes true. And then you can lean back on that tape and say, it's not me, it's what the football gods have always said. But Dane Roy did an outstanding job punting the ball tonight. Proud of him.
After the half, you guys, the Arizona was slowly accumulating with, they got 3 points, and then they got 3 points. They were kind of they were holding on to the ball a little longer. Is there a message that you were sending to the team about just staying tough or like continuing to play? Because they seem to be inching towards your 19 lead.
Yeah, it was a slow crawl, and it started to get more and more anxiety, and we continue to talk about on the sideline of, our response. What's our response going to be? It's 19-10, now it's 19-13, now it's 19-16, and you're talking to the offense like, hey, listen, either we're going to be down by 4, or we're going to be tied up, or we're going to have a 3-point lead with the ball back. These are the situations that we've got to be in, or going to be in, and we need to control our responses. And it just goes back to everything that our strength coach Rod Grace does during the offseason, just trying to present different situations, different stimulus, so they have to train their responses. And at the end of the day, it's about players. And players did a good job tonight, and there was no panic, there was no worry. I didn't sense it. If there was, they did a good job of faking it. But I think they did a really good job of just staying in tune to the game and understand what they got to do to win it.
That was Jefferson. Is there any update on him?
The only update that, and I haven't spoken with the team trainers yet, but that he would not be available after that. So I'm assuming, I don't want to assume. I wish I knew. I could tell you. I would be straight up with you if I could, Joe. We'll find. Yeah, I mean, that I know of, no other serious injuries, but I've done this thing long enough to where you get in there and all of a sudden this guy had a concussion and this guy's shoulder hurts and this guy's ankle hurts. So we'll find out tomorrow.
Did you even consider De'Aaron today, or was that?
It's so hard because he wants to play so bad, and he's the kind of guy that his arm could be falling off, and he would still tell you he's good to go. And I went and asked him in pregame. I said, "How do you feel?" And he's like, "I'm good, coach." And I was just like, I knew he was going to say that, and I just didn't feel like I'll be putting him in a bad spot. Asking his body to do some things that it may not quite be ready to do, and get him that much healthier. So I'll be excited to have him back because I love the way he competes, man.
Anything else? Yeah, what does it mean just to get back on the field and hit someone else? I know you guys have been chopping at the bit for this, and you guys have gone through a lot the last few weeks. What does it mean just to get back on the field and on top of it, come out victorious?
I think for the players, they're extremely excited. Extremely excited to see another colored jersey. I know they're tired of me at practice and their coaches, and they want to go out there and they want to get into the games. And we talk about that all the time. I mean, this is the only sport that you really practice like 100, 110 times and play 12 games. It gets difficult, but that's the process, and that's what makes these things so damn special and so much fun to be a part of. So they're really excited to play another team, really excited to get in a competitive 60-minute game, no scrimmage, no simulation. And for me personally, on the other end, I was really eager to see how our staff did, our support staff, how I handled the situation. I mean, everybody was under evaluation today, and so I can't wait to watch the tape and see where I can get better and we can get better.
Did you get the game ball?
Yes. Hunter Yurchek gave me the game ball, and I gave it to the captains because I don't play anymore. I just stood over there and wrote notes. Thank y'all. Thanks.